This July 30th picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, July the 29th. We are here to handicap a full slate of action for Wednesday, July the 30th. Joining me for a second consecutive show is Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, double bubble this week. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, doing good. Hopefully we can, I had a decent day yesterday. I think I went 5-2. So yeah, man, I'm doing good. Hopefully we roll that over into today from yesterday's show. And then we got everybody some money in their pockets for the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't have a great night on Sunday night. I think I went 6-10 or 6-9, something like that. But we can fight back with our Monday picks.
What about Monday? You didn't do good Monday? Yesterday?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm sorry. It's the time. It's the time thing. Yeah, it's the time thing. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I know. So the problem we've given ourselves here is I swapped shows with Scott, and then Dylan swapped shows with you, which means me and you are here again. And we're handicapping the same games that we did last night. But in the meantime, nothing's happened. We've got different pitches, obviously. But it's nice. We enjoyed the Monday, I think. We get new series. We've had some trends over the weekend. There's some hot teams. There's some cold teams. We've got none of that because the Monday games, not a ball has been thrown or hit in anger since we did them. So we'll try not to make tonight's show exactly the same. What made me laugh, I didn't have the lines just now. I just came in, so I was in a bit of a rush. So I got you to shout the lines out. And you were giving me a little stream of consciousness as you went. And it feels like we have a lot of the same picks. You were just going, minus 135, that's too short. Plus 144, that's a good price. And I was just nodding away thinking, yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah. It's a shit ton of stuff. So let's see where we end up tonight. CD players joined us in the chat. CD, welcome along. There's loads of people here in the chat. Oh, actually, I think I'm streaming this on Dylan's Twitter again because I set it up to and he cried off. So that's not my fault, Lonte. That is 3 times in 4 weeks I've done that. Let's not tell him. Yeah, no way the O's sweep tonight player is saying, but who they got tonight? Baltimore running into some decent form, actually.
Oh, my God. They were hot today. They were hot today.
Yeah, we're getting to them with our first game. So it's not a bad place to start. 12:35 Eastern first pitch between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles. Jose Barrios for the Blue Jays and Dean Kramer for Baltimore, who are minus 116 favourites. The Blue Jays minus 102. And the total is at 10. Barrios has been all right, is what I would say. The Blue Jays have won lots of his games, but the Blue Jays have been hot. Doesn't mean Barrios has been particularly sharp. But here's something that I found. So you're looking for an anomaly or an angle in. And it was Barrios in day games for me. 6.07 ERA. He's played 8 day games. He's started in 8 baseball games. 6.07 ERA, including 10 homers he's gone for in those 8 games. So if you're looking for a dinger play, Baltimore might well be your team there. Kramer's inconsistent, but at home, 2.65 ERA in the 5-2 record in 7 starts. That's good enough. The Blue Jays are a bit of a different proposition on the road. They're much better at home. They're actually 1 game under 500 on the road. They've had a little 2-game blip, and Baltimore are doing better with a 3-game winning streak. So I'm going to take the Orioles here. I don't feel like I picked the Orioles very much all season, but I'm going to give them this one. It's home to the Blue Jays, Lonte.
Yeah, I like the Orioles as well. The thing with Barrios, he's got 6 quality starts in his last 10, but he's also given up 4+ runs in 3 of his last 5. He's been up and down on the road. I like Kramer. He's been really good outside of, he's had 2 good starts where he's allowed 1 combined run, and he's had 2 bad starts where he allowed 11 combined runs this month. His hit rate's been consistent though. It's kind of middling. It's not too high, not too low. It's like right in the middle. 14 of his last 23 innings pitched at home have been scoreless, so he's pitching really well at home as of late. I don't think it's. I want to say it could be a little bit of recency bias, but I mean, I think that the O's they look really good today, offensively especially. But just not taking that into account, I still think that the price is a little short with the way Berrios has been going as of late, and especially with the consistency that Kramer's been pitching at home. So I do like the O's in this matchup.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was typing to Nathan in the chat there, who's joined us. Welcome along, Nathan. How you doing? My daughter's just come in. She's been out for a pizza. What kind of pizza did you have? Margarita. Oh, I mean, Lonte. What's the point?
A margarita pizza? I never heard of that.
I know, yeah. Wasted our time. That's disappointing. Disappointing. I hope you didn't spend my money on that. Anyway, where we go? Go to bed. 1:10 Eastern first pitch. The Arizona Diamondbacks at the Detroit Tigers. Ryan Nelson goes for the D-backs. And here's something. I handicapped Chris Paddock for the Minnesota Twins last night. And tonight we're going to handicap Chris Paddock for the Detroit Tigers because they traded him probably while we were speaking yesterday. Minus 130, Paddock with the Tigers, plus 110, Nelson with the D-backs. Total at 9, Lonte. I wasn't hugely keen on this trade, were you?
Yeah, I didn't get it either. Why the hell would they want Paddock? Why would you,
right. I read an article which said, the first line said, Tigers have made a trade for Paddock. Problem is, Paddock hasn't been very good. And it's just so simple.
Yeah,
that's about the top bottom of it.
Yeah, I didn't get that trade either. When I saw it, I was like, why? That's the first question, like why? I mean, in this specific matchup, it's like wrong team favorite. I know Detroit played really well last night, but I mean, Nelson has been on fire. I mean, he's got 4 quality starts in his last 5. He's got 8 combined earned runs in that span, 2 or less in 7 of his last 8. I mean, Paddock, we ran off his numbers yesterday. I mean, if you want me to just reiterate him, 5+ earned runs in 2 of his last 3, 6 home runs in his last 4. I mean, he's not been good at all. And Detroit hasn't been good at all either. I mean, they played well last night, but I mean, that could be an anomaly here, especially with the way that Nelson's been going. And while we're talking, I mean, Nelson is kind of on a trade block as well, so he might not even go in this game tomorrow. He might be dealt somewhere. So we'll see. But I like the plus money with the Diamondbacks. I like this. Is probably one of my favorite plays on the card, man. I also like the team total for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I just couldn't take Paddock. I didn't want him last night as a Twin, and I don't want him this time round as a Tiger in a rushed debut. Really. Can't be in the ideal preparation, even if it's just a little bit of travelling and finding your locker and getting in a hotel and whatever. Like I say, it can't be ideal. Nelson, if he does go, he's been very good. More good starts than bad. Only 1 of his last 8 starts has he given up over 2 earned runs. And in that stretch, Arizona is 7-1 straight up. CD player says the Diamondbacks are free falling. You're right, they're not. I haven't really wanted to back them very much lately, but this was just a fade of Paddock. And when you got into Nelson's numbers, actually, there wasn't much in there to turn you off. So yeah, I'm with you, Lonte. I'll take Arizona at plus 110. Skrills is here, live from the curb. Let's eat Skrills. I agree with you. We will move on to the Boston Red Sox at the Minnesota Twins. We've got a little run of games that are off the board here. A couple of TBD pitches. Now, I don't know why this one is off the board. It's 1:10 Eastern. Boston have Brian Bello confirmed. Minnesota, I thought it was Bailey Ober. Now, obviously, they've just lost Chris Paddock, which maybe is Ober now. If they brought Ober forward, he was going on this Tuesday night game. Minnesota TBD for tonight's game, and that starts in 2 hours. So that's not very helpful. But I've got Bailey Ober. Have you handicapped Ober, Lonte?
Let's see. Do I have Ober? Actually, I don't have anybody. I had it blank. I just had Bayo and then had it blank.
And I did see minus 110 each of 2 earlier on as well, and all the lines have gone. Bayo has been okay, but not spectacular. 3 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. What Bayo does do, he can generally be relied upon to keep Boston in the game. They're always quite close games, and they'll win one and lose one. Alternately, Bailey Ober, if it is him, he can be relied upon to give up shitloads of runs. 5 starts in July and 9 ERA. The only bet I was wanting to make in that situation was Boston, but Minnesota are in a little bit of a state of flux, Lonte.
I like Boston too, man. I think he summed it up pretty good. Which is, what's real funny when I was looking at Bayo, he's been fairly consistent over the last 3 months. He's been between 0 and 3 earned in that span. But the thing is, he's only got 2 road starts in his last 2 months, which is kind of weird. So he's pitching at home a lot, and a lot of the successes came at home. But he hasn't been horrible on the road in the 2 starts. He obviously hasn't had a bigger sample size than he did at home. And if it is over, a complete fade, I think Boston's offense be able to get to him. I would look at an over, a full game over as well. But I like Boston. I think the number is a little short.
2:10 Eastern first pitch, the second one of this little run of OTB games. The Washington Nationals at the Houston Astros. Left-handed pitcher Mackenzie Gore for Washington. Houston in this situation are TBD. No lines, Lonte. Much we can say about this?
Not really. We could talk about Mackenzie Gore. He's been not himself, I would guess would be the right play. So if you look at his numbers, 2 or less in 4 of his last 5, which is good. But the 2 things that have been like his saving grace is he doesn't allow a ton of walks and he strikes out a lot of people. He's been completely opposite as of late. His K rate is all the way down. I think he had like 6 Ks in his last 3 games combined or in a stretch of 3 games, which is typically not him. At one point in time, he was leading the majors in strikeouts. So that's typically something that he does, but he just hasn't been doing that as of late. And he's also been walking guys. 21 walks in his last 6 games. That's typically not him. But he has been dominant on the road. Houston's been slipping a little bit. I might take a shot with Gore and the Nats, maybe first 5, because you generally can tell. I think we say this all the time. Gore, immediately if he has it or not. Off from the first inning and a half, maybe inning and 2/3 or 2 innings, if he has it or not. And that makes it great for live betting opportunities if you're into that. But typically, if you watch enough Mackenzie Gore, if he has it or not. And I think he'll have it tomorrow night. So I'm going to take the Nats. Barring they don't throw Valdez. I don't think they're going to throw Valdez or Hunter Brown, none of their aces. If it's the back end of the lineup, I'm comfortable with taking the Nats.
You've hit the nail on the head there. Without seeing a Houston pitcher, the only bet I wanted to make at this point is Washington. I explained last night why Houston are in the condition that they're in, the injuries, the leadership, the younger players, etc. But I like Gore. I was happy to take out that 8 earned run effort against Padres, even though you explained some of his metrics, etc., are a little bit down. Without seeing a picture, I was quite happy not to have to make a pick in this as it happens. Now, if you gave me a tenner, I would stick it on Washington unless Houston were throwing one of their races. Houston have been all right against lefties. They've cooled off a little bit. But a 252 July batting average with a 6-3 record against left-handed pitching is all right. So I wasn't rushing to the window to get to Washington. So that's that one. And the final run, we get back to some lines after this 2:10 Eastern between the Atlanta Braves and the Kansas City Royals, where left-handed pitcher Joey Wentz will take on TBD for KCR. Again, nothing as yet on this one. Don't mind Joey Wentz. How many? 2 starts, I think, now, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. This will be his 3rd start. Yeah, sorry. His last time out was his 2nd start. This one will be his 3rd. And stretched out to 4 innings, which is okay, but did get hit around by Texas in a game that Atlanta lost 8-3. It's hard to recommend Wentz. It's hard to recommend Atlanta. Now, the Kansas City Royals have got relatively weak splits against left-handed pitching, but the pitching performances is very often kept them in the game. And they're actually profitable against lefties, even though the split isn't ideal. I'm happy to take Wentz. I would take the Royals. Whoever the Royals are going to throw is going to be half decent, I think, in this situation, looking at the names available to them. And I don't want anything to do with Atlanta currently, Lonte.
Yeah, I like Kansas City as well. You talked about the left-handed numbers. They have been some weird splits. But if you look at just this month, they're hitting about 888 OPS versus lefties in this month. So Kansas City's been a little bit more consistent. We talked about them yesterday, and the Braves are kind of in free-for-all, wondering what they do at the trade deadline. Half of their whole rotation from the beginning of the year is on the IL. So not a ton to play for. I think the Royals are still they've been a lot more consistent. So I'm looking at an under, and I'm probably going to be somewhere on the Royals if the price is. The books haven't. Scott has talked about this a lot. It's taken the books a long time to adjust the Braves. I mean, they're coming around to it now, but typically you were getting some good prices early on the Braves on the books, thinking that they would turn it around. And now it's kind of been a little bit more fair. So I'm interested to see what this looks like, depending upon who's on the mound for the Royals.
Well, yeah, we gave that number out last night, didn't we? $2,744.
Yeah.
It was, which they have added a little winner on the Monday night games, but we did fade them to lose on Tuesday night. We'll move on. Let me tell you that the Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews, bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode gives out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA golf, and of course, football futures. Tons of locations. Crypto is accepted too. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply at mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And Rhythm, with their excellent feature, Power Trends, are one of our special sponsors here too. That is the best of the best, what their house model has to offer. AI-detected patterns where Rhythm model is a consistently high ROI. 63% Power Trends are hitting. WNBA going well too. Get your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. The Philadelphia Phillies are at the Chicago White Sox. That is a 2:10 Eastern. First pitch between Taiwan Walker for the Phillies, and it will be Adrian Hauser for the White Sox. Plus 122 Chicago, minus 144 the Phillies. Total Lonte 8.5.
Man, this is I want to take the White Sox, but the price is a little bit it's a little bit short, to be honest, for Philly. I mean, I wanted to get a little bit more than what this price is. Although I will say that Walker has not. He's been solid in his last 3 starts, but he's got a high hit rate, 15 hits in his last 2. He's got 5 home runs in that span. And Hauser's just been, amazing. 9 of his 11 his last 11 starts have been quality. He's got a 2.1 ERA since joining the White Sox. Hit rate has been up a bit, 22 hits in his last 2, if I'm not mistaken. So I didn't want to take either side, to be honest, because I wanted to be on the White Sox, but I think the price is a little bit inflated. So I'm going to look at the over. Both pitchers allowing a lot of contact. We saw the White Sox. Both teams yesterday got off to really hot starts. So I think we see similar to that. I think Hauser can go a little bit better than Walker. So maybe if I want to look at the first 5, but that'll probably be even shorter. But it'll still be plus money. So I'm looking at White Sox first 5, but I love the over in the game now.
Yeah, White Sox first 5 is my play. I've got away from it for a few weeks, but drawn me back in tonight, and it was Hauser's. I did a proper double take at Hauser's game log. I didn't realise this kind of mad tear that he'd been on. It's quite an inexplicable run of wins he's been on. A 138 home ERA, 6 wins in a row. Walker has had a couple of less good. That's terrible English. Less good, worse. What's the word? Worse. Bad starts lately.
Either way, we know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's only my home. My mother took. But Philly scored him 21 runs to get him out of the shit. But you can't get away from those Hauser numbers. You said on Monday's show the White Sox are much more competitive at home. And we do love a Chicago White Sox first 5. I was disappointed by the price as well. I thought we might get something that started with a plus 140 rather than a plus 122. So we'll see where the money goes. Nathan, I think, likes a bit of Hauser as well. So, yeah, we'll take the White Sox to get in front early on. 2:10 Eastern, the Chicago Cubs at the Milwaukee Brewers. Left-handed pitcher Shota Imanaga for the Cubbies will take on fastball Freddie Peralta for the Milwaukee Brewers in another really good pitching matchup. We didn't quite get the pitching duel that we thought we might get between Misarowski and Boyd last night. The Brewers got to Misarowski early on in that one. This is close on the books. The Brewers minus 116, minus 102, the Cubs, and the total is at 8. Imanaga got lit up by those Chicago White Sox last time, but that was an outlier, and therefore I am prepared to forgive it. Peralta has been top class at home. 11 starts, 135, might be 155, can't read my own writing, ERA. Like I say, we didn't get that pitching duel, Miss Fee Boyd, on Monday night, but I think we can get it here, Lonte. 8 is half a run too high, isn't it? Love it.
Yeah, man, I like the under as well. I got in my notes that I wrote, bet whoever is the dog, and like with a plus sign beside it, but they don't have plus signs, so I can't bet it. I think it's pretty much, I think the line is perfect, to be honest. Both pitchers have been amazing. I think it sets up for, I'll probably bet a little more in the first 5 under than the full game. But, I mean, if you look at Imanaga, he's coming off career highs in hits and runs, which you talked about. He's only given up, just think about this. He's only given up 6 earned combined in all of his road starts, and he gave up 7 combined his last start. So that's just goes to show you how good he's been. He's only gave up more than 3 earned one other time, and after that game, he threw 5 scoreless on the road against San Diego. He did pitch well in Milwaukee, 2 earned and 5 2/3 in May against Imanaga. But Peralta just outdueled him. He threw 6 scoreless. And I think we see a similar game to what we saw in that matchup. Peralta's 2-0 versus the Cubbies this year. He's been dominant at home. You talked about the numbers. 3 earned on 2 hits versus Chicago in his June start, and then 6 scoreless in the May start. So he's been really good. Love both pitchers. I love both teams. I won't be rooting for anybody but the pitchers. So I'm thinking we get a 3-2 type of game now.
Okay, 3-2.
Nerfy, I like that, Nathan. I like that, Nerfy.
7 games to call your shot, Lonte. That's a record. 3:45 Eastern first pitch. The Pittsburgh Pirates are at the San Francisco Giants. Mike Burrows for the Buccos. San Francisco will throw Logan Webb, and they are minus 225. Question mark. Yes. Pittsburgh plus 188. Total, Lonte, is 7. Yeah. This was one of the lines when you read it out. You barely stifled a laugh, Lonte, when you said the Giants were minus 225.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. I know the Pittsburgh has had their struggles on the road, and I talked about that yesterday, but 225 is, this is not Logan Webb, who's been dominant. If you look at his last 3 outings, 16 earned on 25 hits in his last 3. 2 of those games were at home. His hit rate's been an issue all year. I know Pittsburgh's offense is struggling, but Webb hasn't been 225 worthy. I don't even think this should be like 170. This should be around like 150. So I think price-wise alone, you got to take Pittsburgh. And if you look on the other side, Burrow's coming off. He's coming off outside of a bad start versus at Minnesota. I'm sorry, he's been solid. He followed it up by having 2 combined in his last 2 starts. So he's been fine. I don't trust San Francisco to play here. I like the under as well, but it kind of scared me off to kind of give it out because because Webb has been allowing a ton of contact, and if Pirates can get hot at the top of that lineup, then they make it put up some runs. But yeah, 225 is way too high. Give me the Pirates.
Yeah, if I put my tenner on Pittsburgh and it loses, that's absolutely fine. Take my tenner. But you can't back the Giants. You can't back the Giants at any price. Minus 225 is nuts. Burrows has been okay. You've explained it well. 6 scoreless against Arizona last time. But 2 earned runs against the White Sox. He went scoreless against Seattle. 1 earned run against the Mets. They're all solid starts. Pittsburgh weren't good enough to win many of those. They did win that Mets game. But they've been a little bit better lately. Webb has been poor. 14 earned in his last 3 starts. The Giants 2-8 in the last 10. 3-game winning streak for Pittsburgh. Of the 2, there's only one course of action if you're having a bet, and that is to bet the Pittsburgh Pirates. Next up is the final one of our off-the-board games. 6:40 Eastern. The Cleveland Rockies, the Colorado Rockies, at the Cleveland Guardians. Left-handed pitcher Kyle Freeland for Colorado. It is Cleveland that are TBD. No lines on this, unfortunately. Kyle Freeland, I don't mind kind of Freeland. He holds it together occasionally for the Rockies. He kind of just accepts that he plays for the Rockies, and he's just done it for years, and he turns up and does his job. His June and July ERA are both in the 4s, which is absolutely fine, bear in mind that Coors Field split. He very often gets a no decision. He keeps them in the game. He comes out, and then Colorado lose. That's what Freeland's done. He's done it for years. Cleveland have been better. Still not potent against lefties, though. We like this Cleveland trend against left-handed pitching. I think Freeland can go okay, possible first 5 under, but I would want to see who Cleveland were throwing Lonte.
Yeah, I want to see who Cleveland's throwing. Like the Rockies, man. Listen, the Rockies have been okay. I know I said it yesterday too, but they've been pretty good to their standard now. To their standard, not to an average team, but they've been like according to what we have been accustomed to with Colorado. They've been pretty good. Offense looked good. They got a win in yesterday. Offense looked really good again, and they even traded McMahon as well. Freeland's been okay. I mean, I might have to look. I might have to look at Colorado. Just depending on who's scoring. Just depending on who's going.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was pretty ugly, one way or the other. Adam has joined us in the chat. Adam, how you doing? Adam's just making the point. We talked about this, Adam, at the top of the show that it is hard to handicap these games, and the Monday show into the Tuesday show is the worst. Kind of new series, new week, all of that. And especially when you've got the same two hosts. This was due to be Dylan and Scott, and then everything gets swapped around, and it's me and Lonte kind of again giving our thoughts on the teams and the series, which you've heard the night before. So, yeah, it is one of those things that we often talk about as a show, and the listeners all get involved. But it's the best way we found to keep going sort of 24 hours ahead. 7:05 Eastern, Tampa Bay Rays are at the New York Yankees. Zach Littell for the Rays will take on Will Warren of the Yankees, who are minus 142. The Rays plus 118. Lonte total sits at 9.
Yeah, this is another one that kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit, Mal, and we talked about it. I know Warren has been, solid at home. Actually, he's been more than solid. He's been really good at home. But with the Yankees having to kind of like maneuver their lineup around and, do things a little bit different, I do think that might be a little bit high. I don't know Tampa's not playing that well, but Tampa generally plays the Yankees well. If you're just looking at a historical landscape of it, they typically play them pretty well. I mean, I think Littell is okay. He's been pitching okay. The Rays just haven't been good as of late. I think I'll take a shot with the Rays on the road. I know Warren is good at home, but I think 144 is a little bit too high.
Again, if I had to pick a side, it would be Tampa Bay, because you're right, they do play the Yankees hard. I can't back Warren. Yankees are a little bit out of form, but I do think the Rays are going to struggle a little bit either. I wouldn't be rushing to back Tampa Bay, and I've gone for the over again here. I think Zachary Little, as Nathan wants us to call him, he's trending the wrong way. 10 earned runs in his last 3 starts. His lines are just all very, very average. Warren's similar. And I just never really want to bet. My instinct when I say Will Warren's name is, I want to bet him. I just don't want to. 4 of his last 5 game totals. This is what caught my eye. The game totals for Will Warren. 17, 21, 13, and 20. That is a lot of runs. The offensive numbers for both teams are still all in the green, so I think we need some runs here. 6-4 to somebody. I will take the over 9. We'll get into the back end of the card when I tell you about the world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Come and hang out with the SGPN boys and girls at the Circa Contest weekend, August 21 to 23. For an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. You can get 15% off a stay at the Circa with the promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere using SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And finally, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. $15 million in prizes. No arguments about trades no waiver wire. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Use our code MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code MLB SGPN. 7:10 Eastern first pitch. The LA Dodgers at the Cincinnati Reds. It is Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. The Cincinnati Reds will throw Nick Martinez and our plus 144 home dogs. Dodgers minus 170. Total is 9.5. I think, Lonte, this is one game where we are just going to give out the exact same handicap as last night. What was last night's pitching matchup? Glasnow and
Lodolo, I think.
Yeah, Glasnow and Lodolo. I mean, the handicap was he's good, he's all right. The Dodgers are in poor form. Cincinnati being a bit more funky, and I love the Reds' price. And it's the same handicap. You can switch out Glasnow and Lodolo for Ohtani and Martinez. Ohtani has had 6 starts now, up to 3 innings. Dodgers have won 4 of them. But Martinez is steady away. 2 earned runs in his last 3 starts. Those games, they won 7-2, they won 5-2, they won 4-2. One bad start against Miami has skewed his numbers, actually. But I think it can go well. I think I have to take the Reds at plus 140.
Man, you just stole my whole handicap. I got the 10 run outing. You like skews his numbers. The exact word I got skews and everything. You took my whole, like reading off my notes. But yeah, man, I'm in sync with you. When I looked at this, I felt even like I didn't feel good about taking the Reds yesterday, but I feel better about it today because Ohtani's not Ohtani. I mean, he has been like upticking his pitches and his innings. And Robert said they want to just keep continuing. I don't think he has a limit, but he's saying they just kind of want to monitor, how he's feeling and how he's looking. So I'm assuming he'll get to like 4 1/3, maybe, depending upon how his pitch count looks, after the first 2 or 3 innings. But it is, it's not. I mean, I think it is like fun to see him pitching and getting back revved up, which will probably be revved up for the playoffs, and they'll probably use him in some high leverage situations. So that's good to see if you're a baseball fan in general. But I mean, if you look at Martinez, just to expand on some of the things that you were saying, he's 5-1 in his last 6 starts, 3.30 ERA, and a lot of that had to do with that 10-run outing that we were talking about. He's got 2 or less in 4 of those 6 games, so he's been locked in, man. And I like the way Cincinnati's offense has been playing. So I like the Reds at home.
Next up is at the top of the page, 4:10 Eastern first pitch. I've gone way out of sequence. This game starts before the last 3 that we've handicapped. I've gone a bit wrong there. The New York Mets at the San Diego Padres. Clay Holmes for the Mets. Yu Darvish for the Padres, who we did handicap last night. Mets minus 125. Padres plus 104. Total 8.5. Now, I said we were trying not to handicap the same every game, and we've just done a carbon copy for the Dodgers Reds. But my handicap, the Mets Padres, with Darvish on the board again, Lonte, is pretty much what we said last night. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. The Mets are a team that I've been buying on. We talked about that yesterday. But I do think we can get an over here simply because Darvish, his swing and miss stuff is just not quite there. He's only had 4 starts, but he's coming off the worst of those 4. And the Mets are in good form, and they won 7 of 8. They lost last night, if I'm not mistaken, right? They should have. That was one of my losers, I think. Yeah, the Mets won 7 of 8. Holmes is coming off a strong start, but he has been up and down in July so far. His hit rate has been up this month. He's still solid on the road. I think it's properly priced, so I would look at an over. I think both teams can hit the ball. I think it's properly priced. If you want to just take an over, I think an over is a good look.
Yeah, the Mets did snap their winning streak last night. They should have won. They got themselves in a strong position and then gave up a funky number in the bottom of the 4th or 5th. They gave 5 runs, I think it was. But I do feel like this is the game we handicapped last night because it's the presence of Yu Darvish. I said that Darvish might very well have a strong second half of the season, but until he takes those first steps towards it and we see it, then I'm unable to get myself in a position to back him. Last night it was the Sean Manaea. This time round it's Clay Holmes, and very, very similar. Holmes is fine, Darvish isn't, and I just prefer the Mets. I'll take the Mets here at minus 125. Next up, at the risk of repeating myself, Lonte, I know what you're going to pick in the 7:45 Eastern between the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals. Cal Quantrill for Miami, Miles Mikolas for the Cards, who are minus 150, Marlins plus 123. Total 8.5.
Yeah, man, it's pretty easy. You got to keep taking the Marlins, and if they're going to keep giving this price out with Mikolas on the mound, I mean, now granted, the price yesterday that we talked about, I can kind of understand because Gray hasn't been good as of late, but his overall numbers have been better, and he's been pretty good at home. But Mikolas, I mean, he's been inconsistent to his finest. If you look at his last 4 starts, 8 earned, no earned, 5 earned, 0 earned. Like, so he's been consistent. And his numbers say it was a good start last outing, but he didn't do well at all. It's just that I forgot who they played, but they couldn't capitalize. He was allowing numbers. I mean, he was allowing guys on base, and they couldn't be converted. He had a couple of walk issues as well, and he just kept getting out of it. I think he grounded in. I think he maybe had 2 on and grounded into a double play, like back-to-back innings or something like that. So he hasn't been as good as the numbers suggest in those 2 really good outings. He's probably somewhere in the middle. So I'm looking at. I mean, Quantrill's been pretty steady, solid on the road. I'm looking at an over Miami first 5, and you got to put something on Miami full game as well. But I'm more confident in Quantrill outdueling Mikolas in that first 5 than I am the full game because I do.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
No, sorry, I thought you'd.
Oh no, I was just saying just because I think St. Louis they might like if Mikolas does go okay. And Quantrill, kind of gets out. I don't really trust Miami's bullpen. I know they've been better as of late, but I don't really trust their bullpen overarching if they have to go deeper into the inning. Like, say, for instance, if Quantrill has to come out in like the 3rd or 4th inning, I don't really trust them to go, 4+ innings and not allow a lot of damage to a Cardinals offense. So I'm going over in first 5 for Miami.
Mandem 6 joined us in the chat. Mandem, welcome along. Miami team total over. Is Mandem's pick in this one. Yeah, Quantrill v. Mikolas, kind of read Alcantara v. Gray on the Tuesday night slate. 2 good starts in a row for Cal Quantrill. 1 at the Brewers, 1 against the Royals. Mikolas is volatile, I think is the word to use. 0.5086 in his last 5 starts. That's not particularly helpful when you're trying to handicap. I just want the better price, and the better price here is by far Miami. I mean, it's not even a contest. So yeah, you have to keep taking Miami at plus 123. They'll win either tonight on Tuesday or this Wednesday night game, and they're at plus money of both of them. So there's absolutely profit to be had. Penultimate game on the card, 9:38 Eastern between the Texas Rangers and the LA Angels. Nathan Eovaldi for Texas and Jose Soriano for the Halos. Plus 112 the Angels, minus 135 Texas. Total here is 8. Just a no-brainer. The price, the only thing I was worried about here with Texas was, would the price be suitable to take as a single, or would we have to dive into the run line? Great price. I'd still take the run line, actually. Minus 135. Eovaldi continues to be lights out. 4 wins in a row by an aggregate score of 29-5. That'll do it. Soriano 1-5 at home with a 5.57 ERA. That'll also do it. I'm happy to take Texas. Happy to take money line, run line, whatever you like.
I love Texas as well, man. For a lot of different, for a lot of the same reasons. Eovaldi's been really, really good, man. 1 combined earned run in his last 4 starts. 3 combined in his last 6 road starts. So it doesn't matter where he's been at. He's been really good. He is dealing with a little bit of a back issue. He skipped the start. I think he pitched on the 13th, and then he didn't go on the 18th, instead went on like the 26th or something like that. So he missed 2 weeks in between that, kind of like getting his back issue sorted out. So I'm unsure about that, but he still came out and pitched well in his last start. So that's just something to monitor. And if you look on the other side, Soriano, he's well over his career high innings pitched. He was dealing with some arm fatigue last August. So now he might be dealing with some of that stuff like right now because he's at 11 walks in his last 4. He's pitched okay, 2 earned or in 4 of his last 5, but I don't think he can outdo Eovaldi or Texas the way they've been going offensively. I looked at Texas. I also looked at under. So I'm with the Texas run line. I'm with the money line, and I'm with the under on this specific matchup.
Okay, final game, 10:05 Eastern. The Seattle Mariners take on the Athletics with Brian Wu going for the Mariners. Left-handed pitcher Jeffrey Springs for the A's, who are plus 120. Mariners minus 144. Lonte, our final total is 9.5. Finish us off.
Yeah, man, I love Seattle here. I love Seattle in this spot. Jeffrey Springs had 3 quality starts in his last 4. He's been fairly steady over his last 2 months, but it just came down to just the pitching. I think Wu's been really good. He's gonna go. He's gonna go at least 6 innings. He hasn't gone under 6 innings pitched all year. He's got 2 or less and 4 straight on the road. I know I talked about it yesterday. Just kind of regurgitating that point is I think that the A's might be a little bit overvalued now after coming off of that big series win over Houston, where they hit the ball really, really well. So I think Seattle. We saw Seattle get it done yesterday. I think this is a similar type of game. I like the under. All throughout. I think I'm going to keep going because I like both pitchers as well. I think Seattle wins like a 3-1, 4-2 type of game.
There was just loads of conflicting trends where I thought this was really, really hard because Wu's pitched well, but has a run of defeats on the back of it. Springs is pretty average with a 4.27 home ERA. I wasn't inclined to pick either as a confident selection here. Seattle in middle of the road against lefties, 7-15 straight up. And then there was conflicting stuff. Brian Wu under in 4 of his last 6. Springs over in 5 of his last 7. It was tricky, but I did eventually find a trend I liked, which was that both pitchers have got really solid early splits. Both pitchers go well early on. The fact you've just called a 3-1 is music to my ears because I've taken the first 5 under Lonte. So there you go. Well done. 15 games in the books in a timely manner. I think it was those 4 games in the middle that were off the board helped us get through a little bit quickly. So tonight it's now my turn, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I can remember. I can remember 24 hours ago, Lonte. I am gonna take right then. Is it the Marlins or is it the Reds? I'm gonna take the Marlins. The Lizard King, Miles Mikolas, is not my guy, hasn't been for a long time. I'll take Miami to turn over St. Louis at plus 123 as an underdog. And for my lock, fucking Texas. Holy shit. It's like finding money in the street, Lonte. Texas, money line, minus 135.
Yeah, you took my lock. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. I'll just go with, let's see who I can go with here. Let's go with I don't want to go with a total. The last 2 totals I gave out, they've been nothing. So let's go with Baltimore at home. First game on the board, minus 116. I mean, I just think they'll be comfortable with Kramer on the mound. Berrios, I'm not really trusting his current form, although he's been okay long term, but just his current form going into Baltimore. I'm gonna take Kramer at home for the minus 116. For the dog, man, really easy. I talked about it at the top of another game at the top of the card. Plus 115 for the Diamondbacks. Wrong team favorite. I mean, Nelson's been really good. We both talked about Paddock. Don't really trust him. Didn't trust him whenever he was in another uniform. Definitely not going to trust him as he goes over to another state. I think Arizona should win this pretty comfortably. So Arizona is going to be my dog for tomorrow.
Okay, WTF for Lonte. Home run play. If we go right back to the first game, I called out Jose Berrios' day numbers, his daytime splits, and the fact he's given up 10 home runs in 8 day games, which leads us to the Baltimore Orioles. And if I'm looking down this Orioles lineup, it's got to be Tyler O'Neill. I love Tyler O'Neill. His arms are like my thighs. He's a big old unit, is Tyler O'Neill. He can hit one out tomorrow. Let's take O'Neill to get one off Berrios.
Yeah, I want to go Christian Walker tomorrow. Gore, like I said, he's not had a lot of swing and miss stuff, so I think he's going to allow a decent amount of contact. And I think Christian Walker at the top of that lineup should be able to get one tomorrow. He's been hitting the ball okay. He's kind of up and down, but I think he'll be able to get one tomorrow. Hopefully early on so we can get it out of the way. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. I And I think our work here is done. That's me for the rest of the week. I've got the casino out. I've got fucking 2 jobs this week, but they are miles away, Lonte. Tomorrow I'm going to Sheffield, which is only like half the country away. On Thursday, I've got to travel to Norfolk, and it is, you can't describe how far away it is. And then travel. So I'm not back till Friday, but, I've got to earn a couple of quid when I get the chance. But the show will go on with whoever is swapped around. Thank you very much, Lonte. The chat was live and kicking tonight. It was nice to see a couple of new faces as well, including Mandem in there for the last half an hour or so. Gio and Adam and Nathan and all the other boys. CD player at the top of the show as well. If you ever do get a chance to join the live, it is cracking fun. I do recommend it. Good luck with all your picks. Boys will be back tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.